This is a replay analysis of me playing my WZ-131 on mines from the north spawn. Be an example of getting wrecked really early on and then making something happen afterwards, working the middle hill and eventually coming off of it. So this would be a good example of how to hang in there with a scout and then become effective even when you get hurt early. So I'll take a look at the teams. Pretty standard. Usually teams will try to take the hill, so you're going to see that happen right here as we zoom up towards the hill. Now I'm the fastest tank and did spawn closest to the hill, so that's going to put me first up the hill. Obviously the issues of that, getting first up the hill, just pause it here, is you're the first thing seen. So if they've got a bunch of guys pushing hill, you're going to get hit. So watch what happens here. We'll push up there. I know this is probably going to happen. Now what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. I am going to pre-position my gun, obviously looking at anybody who's coming up that hill and try to hit them as I'm heading up that hill as well. Also, I'm going to head for that open area straight in front of me and try to put the rocks between me and anybody who's there on the right. You can see that M4190 GF is already waiting for somebody to cross there, and he wants to spank them. All right, so there's two tanks and the GF that this is going to hurt. I had two options here. I could have slammed on the brakes, backed up, and tried to get out of there. I do have a 49, but I don't have a lot of friends with me. At the time, I didn't really pay attention to who was there. Had I known they were so far behind, I probably would not have continued pushing up into here. But the hill is important, and I was kind of laser focused at this point. See what happens. Wham, wham, wham. Okay. So I have taken 3 hits. I now have 372 hit points. We did end up killing the Type 62, and we're going to continue. He hits me again. Now I'm ammo racked. Obviously that's an issue. I've got to go ahead and fix that. He has a lot of hit points left, but my friends are coming up. Now at this point it's pure survival. I'm going to fix the ammo rack and then try to deal with him. I get hit again. Now he knows he's got me. He's coming at me. I get lucky on a... Actually, that's not true. I take another hit, and now I'm down to my 8 hit points. I'm going to bounce. I do get a critical hit, no damage from him, and then finally help arrives, and we're able to clear those 2 who came up. Had they been more aggressive and that GF come up with them, obviously they'd have swept me off there and probably killed the T-49 as well. So as it was a near run thing, but we did end up capturing the hill. We'll see what that's worth to us later on. I'll show you what I'm doing with my camera. Okay, so right now I'm in survival mode. You just saw that shot come in from the arty. There's only one arty, so that's good news, and I'm kind of moving around trying to avoid getting hit by that guy. And now I'm deciding, oh my gosh, I've got 8 hit points. How do I make something happen with my 8 hit points? So I'm driving here. I'm really trying to get the arty to not shoot me. Disappear for a while. The reason I'm disappearing for a while is I don't want the arty to be focused on me. I want him to get bored and go start looking at other guys. And my next move here is going to come up to the edge of this hill and look for some spotting opportunities here. What I need to watch out for is anybody down below me right there who could proxy spot me. If I get proxy spotted right there in that bush, there are likely to be multiple guys back in here, TDs over here, maybe some TDs here or whatever, guys camping. So if I get lit up here, I'm probably going to die pretty quick. So I'm being careful. But as I look at the known tanks, there's not a whole bunch that could be tucked up under me. I can see that we've got guys, enemy guys pushing to this corner is pretty standard, and they've got quite a few clogged up in the middle, and there's no contact going on over here on the west side yet. Alright, so I see the 46 KR. I do notice him. I'm swinging my camera around. This is my view right now, trying to look and see what's going on. Should probably get your mini map higher there for you. And now at this point I notice, go back to free camera, that they are pushing up into the middle pretty hard. We do have some guys opposing them, and we've also got some engagement going on over on the right side of the map right there. So because I haven't really seen anything other than that KR, and I'd rather not shoot at him and light myself and let him kill me, I'm going to come over here and see what I can do to help the middle. Now I've disappeared, and probably some of those guys have forgotten really that I'm up there. or they think that I'm not such a big deal with my 8 hit points. And now I'm going to come down in here and look for some shots. Okay, what I did there is I shot the 75. I probably should have shot the Super Pershing and worked on him. He's out in the open. But I do get a shot in there and some damage. I'm going to back up because as soon as I start to see those turrets swing towards me, I don't want to poke out again. But it's interesting what happens here. I'll go to my view for you. I'm kind of watching for them to look at me, and they're not. All right, so that's an interesting mistake right there. If you notice, I just fired HE. That was completely unintentional. I was on my gold rounds up until that point. I fixed my ammo rack earlier and had forgotten, and I actually pressed my 4 and then 3 attempting to fix my gun. As you can see, is damaged. Well, what that really did is it set up, since I didn't have a repair kit left, it set up the next shell to be an HE shell, so I ended up shooting an HE shell in there. I realized that pretty quickly and I fixed that, but that was a mistake that happens sometimes if you forget and you end up pressing your number 4 button if that's how you've got it set up for your repair kit. So I see this E75. I'm going to take him in the turret because I know that's the weak spot right there. All right, great. So we have stopped this attack in the middle. Let's go back to the free cam if I can. No, it doesn't want to do that. Okay, there we go. We have stopped that attack in the middle. The E50 is dead. The E75 is dead. You can see we've got a pretty good lead. And my 8 hit points, I'm still kind of working that up in the center here. And I've done about 700 damage. Again, we've got the middle more or less clogged up, but it looks like they're starting to push pretty hard up here on the right side of the map, up in the northeast. So I'm going to see what I can do about that. There's a good spot coming up as I turn to it, where you can kind of hang off the edge here and shoot these guys in the back, but you've got to be very, very careful right here. The other thing going on, you can see that I am now converging with my T49 buddy, and the last thing I want to do is get in each other's way right here. So he and I do a decent job of working together. Watch how that happens. So we just kind of get in there together. I'm going to shoot the WZ-111. Not quite as hard. Armor on the side. Now I'm thinking about coming over here and taking a shot on this WZ, but he's obviously aware because he's backing up. You can see his turrets start to swing towards me. If I was to hang over there and try to get one more shot on him, even though I'm pretty close to a reload, more than likely he's going to get his turret on me. So let's see what happens here. Yep. So I back out. Discretion, the better part of valor. His turret's already pointed at me. More than likely he'd have nuked me. So I'm just going to get out of there. I don't want him shooting me. I'm also cognizant of the arty, so I'm sort of wiggling a little bit here. Really wondering why he hasn't shot at me anyway. Back to the free camera. And now I notice what I see here is the WZ-111 has ignored me and is now pushing up in there. And I also know there's at least the 54E1 and the ST over there, and they still look like the priority issue because they kind of pushed our E75 and 103 back. It looks like the middle, if you look over there, is still clogged up and guys are pushing, and we've got a pretty good lead. So I'm going to see what else I can do over here. Show you what I'm seeing. Oh, hey, look at this. ST1. All right, kind of a snap at him. Not really well aimed. Nothing happens there. He's not looking at me. I don't see him turning his turret towards me. I'm hanging it out a little bit here, so let's take a look at this. I'm sort of hanging off the edge, and if there's somebody up in that corner, they're going to have a pretty good shot on me right there. Additionally, if someone comes around the bottom, noticing what I'm doing, I could also get hit. I could get splashed by arty, but we're far enough ahead that I'm taking a few chances here. He backs up. I actually get a pretty lucky shot in onto his back. And he still doesn't seem to be really aware of me or paying attention. So I'll just do it one more time. I'm going to come out here and see what I can do. He's going to back up and give it to me. Now he sort of knows what's going on. He's kind of pissed. He's going to turn around, and I notice at this point the 54 Mod 1 has decided to come back around the corner. He's sort of paying attention. I've got a 54 E1 over there, and my T54 E1 is actually jumping off the hill. So let's see how this goes down. What I want to avoid is coming over the edge here and letting this 54 Mod 1 kill me. Now, obviously it would be nice to help this guy that's YOLO down here, but I may not even survive coming off the hill with my 8 hit points, and I certainly won't survive the 54 Mod 1. So I am going to kind of leave this guy out to dry. There's not a lot I can do for him right there. He's going to take some hits. He actually gets lit on fire. I believe that was also the arty that hit him, so he dies pretty quick. Well, that's unfortunate because you can see at this point our lead is starting to diminish. The middle, while it's been cleared, nobody's there anymore watching it. And I'm wondering if that's going to become an issue as I'm watching what's going on. Now I'm going to get proxy lit by that 54 mod 1, so I'm just going to leave. I don't want to be given that 155-55 any free shots at me right there. And as I've noticed the middle is open, I've noticed that we've still got some guys over here in the northeast, and they've got most of their tanks camping. It looks like there's nothing having been gone on over here on the west side. So I'm actually going to change my position drastically. Scout is good for that, nice and fast. And I'm going to head out this way. My route through here is going to be as far over to the left here as possible, and I'm going to take this corner as tight as possible, because what I want to avoid having happen here is this guy or this guy getting far enough out here into this open area or up to the north that they can actually get a line of sight on me and kill me as I'm coming around this corner. Now, I don't have 6th sense on this tank, so even if I was spotted there, I don't know, but I'm just going to zip right around that corner, slide a little bit because of new physics, and I'm going to head straight across this area. Looks like the Super Pershing has the same idea. This other Super Pershing has just been camping here. I don't know what he's done the entire game. Alright, so they were taking some hits, but now let's take a look and notice that they've actually evened this fight up a little bit, and based on them being defensive back there with some TDs, and we're a bunch of half-wrecked people, this is probably not going so great right now. So I'm going to change this fight by taking my scout down this way. Now that's huge. Killing the RHM is a big help. And I'm going to come across here. As I look at the tanks that are spotted and the tanks that are still alive, we've got the 5041, the ST1, and the Mod 1. The Mod 1 is seen. The ST1 and T5041 are unlikely to have made it all the way through to the back, so they are probably still in that general area. This 46 KR is still camping cap, and I've got a Saint Emile right there. And other than the Artie, which is probably here or here, that's all the tanks there are. So I'm pretty confident I'm not going to get hit by anything here unless that Emile is actually looking at me. So here's what I see. Nope, not looking at me. Damaged gun. I've got to wait for a long time for it to zoom. Take a nice shot, and then he dies. A little damage for me, and somebody else hits him. Alright, so now I'm going to head in. The same thing applies now. I know that Emile's dead. The 46 KR is here. These guys are up here. Looks like the ST1 has died. That's good. Mod 1 is lit. So that just leaves the Artie. So I'm either going to run into the Artie here and try to avoid getting shotgunned, or I'm going to find him up here. And I'd also like to help them kill out that 46 KR. So first thing I'm looking for is the Artie. Sometimes they sit in this corner. Show you what I'm looking at here. I'm just going to come up around here, kind of taking a chance. If he's staring me down right there, more than likely to splash kill me, but lucked out he's not there. That's good. And we have really built our lead again. They've only got 3 tanks. We know where 2 of them are. The other one's probably here now that we know he's not over here. So I can be a little more reckless on pushing in here and lighting guys up. Oh, hey, there's the KR. Try to get a shot on him. I'm zooming, zooming, zoom. Oh, someone killed him. And that leaves 1 tank. So now I'm going to go after the Artie. A couple things about going after Artie end game with 8 hit points. Obviously, if he's reloaded and waiting for me right there, he probably would have blapped me. And any kind of even close splash would have killed me off. What I notice is he's actually moving back and hiding. So either he's not reloaded or he really wants to kind of hunker down in there and avoid being shot. So that's good news for me. I'll just kind of charge in, thinking that maybe he's not reloaded. Oh, actually he was reloaded. So I got lucky there, didn't I? He missed. All he had to do was come even close to me. And I actually miss on my shot too with my damaged gun. But he's fired, so I'm just going to stop. What I'm thinking about here as well is I don't want him to come charging out and ram me. He could easily ram me for 8 hit points. Probably what I would have done if I was driving that Artie is try to go up and ram that little scout. So I'm not going to get too close. No need to anyway. So I'll just stay here. And if he does charge me, I can move out of the way. His reload is so long that I don't have to worry too much about it. Interestingly, it looks like this T49 is not reloaded because he doesn't come around the corner. I may have actually swung around there and rammed him if I was driving that guy just to get some damage, even if I died. But that's going to let me then auto-aim this guy and just shoot him at the end. And there you go. If you take a look at that video and the way I played that, obviously I was nearly dead at the very beginning. It was a nip and tuck thing, taking that top donut area or the middle hill on the mines map. But I just kept my cool, kept working around the edges of the battle as best I could in the scout, and eventually ended up with a pretty good damage game, 2100. Got a couple kills and became a little bit instrumental in helping us pull this one out. And that's all for the WZ-131 on mines.